Hello and welcome back. Today I am playing the Akizuki together with Red, who's in Cleveland, and we are in a not terrible matchmaking, to be honest. There's no CV and we're only facing tier 9s. Obviously Akizuki AA is not horrible, but the less you see a CV the better. The Akizuki is actually one of my favorite ships in the game. The whole alternative IGN DD line is one that I really enjoyed. So the Akizuki, the Kirakase and Harugumo. And if you've watched any of my old Harugumo videos, you know that I've always enjoyed the spanning of shells. I should also mention that while we were playing this game, Red recorded during the gameplay and also what we talked about. And that video is on his YouTube channel. So if you want to watch this game from his point of view as well, and maybe listen to what we were talking about, even though it wasn't that much, the link to that video will be in the description. Back to my point of view though. I was hanging around here a bit, waiting for Red to catch up before I smoked up from this island here into sea. An issue that honestly neither one of us really thought about was that before this game I had been playing the Kid, because there were some missions. You need to play an allied DD and get a number of floodings. I finished that, and this was the first game I played in the Akizuki instead. So obviously the smoke doesn't reach as far into the cap, and that was a bit of a misplay from both of us. Nevertheless, it allows Red to come into the cap further, and he can raid Kirakase, and the two of us can get some decent hits, and Red will actually kill him. So that is a really good and important start for us, getting rid of the DD here, and enabling us to have a bit more control. To our surprise, we're actually seeing quite a lot of ships coming our way. In the beginning we were alone on this side together with Richelieu, and we really didn't expect them else to follow us, but all of a sudden we have actually the majority of the team here. So that was a bit surprising, but doesn't change that much for us, other than the fact that we can now perhaps push a bit more than we had expected. With the cap secured, I move up together with the Tashkent and try to get opportunity to shoot at the two battleships and the Baltimore over here. Along some torps, but they're all reversing away, so they will obviously not reach. Now, the IGN gunboats are not ideal for open water gunfire. They're quite large and not handle amazingly well. So it is really not recommended if it can be avoided. But I use one of my smokes already for smoking in Red to the cap. My next smoke is not ready yet, and it's still a good opportunity to farm some damage, since there are multiple ships on our team here, which make it less likely that I will be the main focus. So I take the opportunity to do some additional damage. The enemy team, they capped B. We took A in the west, but it's now being contested by the enemy team. And over on that side we have lost DD of our own. My smokes are ready, so I smoke up, and since I am still well in range of the battleships, I just spam HGs and set fires, and honestly having quite a good time just annoying the hell out of this group of ships. Red is sitting in a strategic position behind island at sea, spamming HG of his own. And we see that these 3 ships here, they are in a really bad spot. They have severe issues getting out, and they're taking a lot of damage even attempting it. And we see for me the damage is just continuing to tick up because I keep setting fires and I pump out so many shells that even if the damage per shell is very low, I still get a good amount of damage from them. He sped out of the way, so my torps will obviously miss. But doesn't matter that much, seeing as he is very close to going down. And it is red that gets the second kill as well. Over at A, we have now lost on our cruiser, and we're down to 3 ships over there, and the enemy team has the majority of their forces there, so we will not be able to hold the cap, and as the sumo goes down, it's just a matter of time before the remaining ships get sunk, and we will be down on caps. The North Carolina is still reversing, so it's no issue for me to catch up and start trying to spam some more edge on him. Tashkent is up quite far north, hitting him from that side, and behind me the rest of our forces are pushing up with us. And just like the battleship before North Carolina, this one will not lost any longer. Now that the 2 battleships are gone and the Baltimore has bugged off, we need to start making our way towards B. The Alaska so far has done a good job at keeping control of the cap in A, but as the enemy forces are pushing in on him, he has to leave together with Vladivostok, and like I said, they will have a tough time over there. So it's very important that we make our way into B, cap it, and then try to hold back the team there as much as we can.
Attention, reporting the target position.
Our task currently is all the way up to the B line. Not sure if he has range on the Baltimore, but he is attempting to chase him down. While I, as quickly as possible, try to head into B. I am not using speed boosts because I need to save that for when I'm forced to do open water gunfighting. Because like I said before, it's not the perfect ship for that, and although it works if you're careful enough, you do want extra speed because it does help. And obviously I don't have that many smokes or speed boosts, so I don't really want to waste them unless I absolutely have to. The enemy team obviously took A, and they are now ahead of us on points by about 100 points. They have 1 more ship and 1 more cap. But I'm about to enter B to be able to cap it. The Tashkent have been continuously harassing the Baltimore, and with some help from our battleships he goes down. And now it's basically our entire force from the east coming against the entire enemy force coming from the west. Can only see 3 of the ships so far, and they are still quite a distance away. Neither my torps or my guns can reach them, so I'm focusing on finishing the cap, getting some support from some battleships, and after that I can start making my way a bit closer. Red is indicating that there is something coming straight west of B, and he is thinking that it might be one of the 2 remaining enemy DDs. The enemy team is starting to push forward now. The Vladivostok in the south is still alive and is at least requiring some focus from the enemy team on him. So it helps for us to split them up a bit. I launched some torps at the Jean Bart, but he slows down a bit just after I launched them, and even though it speeds up a bit later, they will all miss, unfortunately. So instead I start slowing down so that I can smoke up and start dealing with him with my guns instead. One of the enemy DDs is trying to smoke up the Jean Bart, it looks like, or possibly someone else. The Jean Bart doesn't really look all that keen to be sitting in smoke, so whatever the attempt was there, it wasn't very successful. Now there is obviously an enemy DD somewhat near, and for the IGN gun destroyers, sitting in smoke with an enemy destroyer near is one of the largest risks. Since the ships are fairly large and they don't handle that well, there is a significant risk that you will eat unnecessary torps. And that will take away a lot of your damage or HP, so it's important to be mindful of that. And I am already starting to move out of the smoke because I am expecting there to be torps incoming from the DD. The enemy DD is actually spotted, Akizuki over there. I am currently holding my fire, but I know that we need to try and kill him while we can. I just want to make sure that I can escape and not sail into the island. Someone else gets a good hit and I can fire my rear guns and get my first kill. And then before I clear the island, I take some shots at the Jean Barts. And we also saw there, as expected, torps from the destroyer into my smoke. Thanks to us capping B, we are more or less equal in points. But the game can still very much go either way. Enemy Mogami is pushing in. He is getting fairly low, so I activate my speed boost and attempt to get some good AP salvos in. Not getting the hits that I would like. A couple of decent hits, but not the DPM I would like, so I switched back to HE, and because it took longer than I wanted it to take, I take some unnecessary damage. Especially since I have to actually sail around the island here which means that I got closer to him than I would have liked to be. But he goes down, and my next move is just to run away until I'm undetected. The artillery shooting at me, getting some damage, and I'm starting to get fairly low. Instead of trying to fight the artillery at long range, I make my way over towards the western side to help with John Bart pushing into B. Figuring I can launch some torps and maybe get lucky with a couple of them. Red gets third kill, the Z-23 over at A, where the Tashkent is now trying to push in and, as it looks like, try to deal with Kronstadt, which is not a fight that is likely to go in his favor. Chambart stopped a bit, but he still is one torp. I get Confederate, and I open up to try to set some fires since there was a flooding. But then also my second set of torps starts getting closer. And the second one, I get the second hit as well, and I get my third kill. So now Red and I both have 3 kills, and I have reached over 150,000 damage, which is not bad at all. Akizuki is an extremely strong ship, so getting good damage is not too difficult, but seeing as I had to use one of my smokes in the beginning to get Red into C, it does limit a bit what I can do, and I have been forced to sail around shooting more than I would perhaps have preferred. Trying to see if maybe I can get angles on the Sinop while simultaneously making my way over to try to spot Kronstadt. He's spotted, he's very low, he radars me, but it doesn't really matter because I was going to try to kill him anyway. So I open up, the Kronstadt is shooting at someone else. I'm not sure if it was Red or the battleship, but nevertheless. Set a fire, some more hits, repairs, but sadly I don't get the kill. Instead it's Red taking his 4th kill. Enemy Sinop gets deleted by John Bart, and left is only the artillery. So the game is won, we are ahead on points, we definitely have the HP, and the time is about to end. Not much more happens. We try to get close, Red will radar him and we will shoot, but it will not be enough time to hit him, since we'll reach 1,000 points. So I will stop here and then move on to the result screens. And then going over to the result screens. As I said before, I managed to get about 154,000 damage, which is a pretty decent amount. It's not my absolute highest in Akizuki, but it's actually fairly close. Not that many torpedoes, which obviously brings down the total damage. Was a bit unlucky a couple of times, but torpedoes never been my strong suit. But I managed to get a lot of shell hits and a couple of fires, and the damage pretty much kept increasing throughout the game. 3 kills and Confederate. Could have gotten the Kronstadt as well, but that one went to Red instead. Base XP, Red and I are clearly at the top. Me with 2,500 base XP and Red with 2,000. And between us we get 7 kills, which is definitely a good result. Once again, our team actually managed to get at least 1,000 HP, all of them. Some were pretty close, but it's still always nice to see when that happens. On the enemy team, only 3 ships managed to break 1,000, but it was a fairly even game. And it could have gone the other way for sure. The detail report, I do 91,000 about damage from my main guns, mostly HE, on a little bit of AP on that Mogami. Sadly only 37,000 fire damage. I guess a lot of the ships I set fire to repaired one, or it was a second fire and something like that. So not too much there, and it could have definitely been better. Most of my damage obviously from all of the battleships I was shooting at. And then a bit on Mogami as well, and the kill secure on the Akizuki. But that pretty much sums up this game. Once again, if you want to see it from Red points of view, you can find a link to that in the description. But it was a good game. The two of us definitely carried it, and Akizuki is just always a pleasure to play. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this game, and I will see you next time.